Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. It's me, Yeonni. I hope you all have been doing well. I hope you all had a wonderful summer. Some would say summer is not yet over, but for me, school starts, my fall semester begins next week. So this week really is the last week of summer, and I'm back on my channel to kind of share some lessons that I've learned this past summer. How many times can I say summer in this intro? It's been a while since I've been back on YouTube filming and sitting in front of a camera. I'm feeling really shy and awkward, but I've had quite the summer. I was trying to figure out, well, while things were going on, I was honestly just, it was a lot. It was a lot. I was taking classes all summer. I was teaching classes as a TA all summer. I was still seeing like my therapy patients all during summer. I had patients from my previous clinical site, and then I started a new clinical site, which has been so exciting. I'll tell you all about it in a different video. And then a lot of personal things happened, very good and very bad and painful. And then technically I was supposed to be in Japan this week, and then that didn't really happen because I'm still home. So I was like, how do I share my roundup of my summer with my YouTube subscribers to just update you all, like check in and let you know how I've been doing and kind of hear from you all and how your summers have been. And in true Yeonni fashion and what I like to do on my channel, I thought I would just sit down, reflect on some lessons I've learned this summer, some musings, thoughts that have been sort of lingering on my mind that I've been sort of chewing on all of this summer through all of these different experiences. I hope you find this video entertaining or helpful or just a good time to just sit down and check in. So yeah, let's get into the video. My first musing lesson of summer was, I hate money, but I need money to survive. I think I put this in the list because this summer, of all of the difficulties I went through, financial pressure was a huge part of everything, honestly. Being a PhD student after having worked a full-time job for multiple years, not having a steady income or salary, and just kind of depending on the school to like pay me at the proper times that they're supposed to. Hint, hint, that didn't happen this summer. There was a lot of fighting with the administration so that myself and my friends and colleagues were getting paid for our work over the summer. And just a lot happened where I felt a lot of financial burden. And, you know, growing up, I've never been the type to be like, even now, I'm not like, oh, I want to make a crap ton of money. Like, some people are like that. That's totally fine. I just feel like for myself, I've just always wanted to help people. And I think that, not that it's wrong, but I think it was very naive of me to be like, I want to help people and not really think about the bills of adulthood, which is not a very sexy topic, I understand. I remember feeling this very realistically the first time when I got my first social work job years ago in I think it's 2018, so yeah, like 6 years ago. And I remember being like, wow, my first paycheck, this is great. I'm an adult, I got my master's degree, I worked so hard to get here. And then once I calculated all of like the federal tax, state tax, city tax, I was like, wow, I really don't have that much money actually going into my bank account. And wow, rent in New York City is very expensive. And wow, it's gonna be like Christmas season soon. And how will I have money to like buy gifts for my friends and family? So that was the first time I felt that very intimately, where I was like, as much as I want to be doing a job that is helpful to people, I also want to make sure I take care of myself. And a big part of taking care of myself is making sure my rent is paid, my bills are paid. It was a tough summer of like trying to grapple with some like credit card debt and trying to survive before my next school stipend comes in September. And I've always really been good with finances, so I think I've been trying to show myself grace in the fact that right now I don't have an income. I am a student. I am paying for everything on my own, so like it's okay to use a little bit of credit card debt to hold me over this summer. But yeah, I've been thinking a lot about like financial pressures and capitalism and how it's so hard to feel like, oh, I don't care about money when you're an adult fending for yourself and you have to pay bills. Blech. Okay, let's move past that topic. The second lesson or musing that I wanted to share today is some lessons are learned in multiple layers. Overt and obvious layers, and others in more covert, unexpected layers. So a lesson that I was thinking about while writing this was the lesson of this chapter in my life, which is learning to trust myself and my growth. And obviously, like the really like obvious blaring lesson of that was leaving my last relationship, finding an apartment on my own, starting all over for the first time in my life. It's my first time having my own place away from my family or any partners, and trying to figure out like taxes and paperwork and getting an apartment. And it was really scary at the time, and that was already like December last year, so already like 9 months ago, which is pretty wild to think about that was 9 months ago. But so much of this journey of growth has been learning to trust myself and trust that I can take care of myself and handle things. And the examples I gave just now are about like technical, tangible things like home bills, things like that. But also obviously when it comes to relationships, learning to understand like patterns that might not have, contributed to me seeking healthy relationships in the past. And relationships, breaking that down even further, not only romantic ones, but friendships. So without going into too much detail, this summer I also had a really, really painful personal fall through of some friendships that I've had for the past 10 years of my life. I didn't see it coming. It came out of nowhere. I didn't see it coming. It came out of nowhere, and it's been about 3 months at this point. And obviously I was a wreck when it happened, but just a lot of pain and confusion. But now, even like 3 months later, while I still have like little bits of flashbacks to some of the language and conversations and how I felt, and it still hurts, I do feel like I'm in a much better place of understanding how this breakup of friendship with this group of friends specifically was another iteration of the same lesson of I need to trust myself and my growth. I need to trust that I am not this person who they accused me of being, and I deserve to grow. I deserve to have boundaries in relationships and vocalize that and use those new lessons in my relationships. And if people don't respect that or understand that or are not welcoming of said growth, then it is what it is. I need to prioritize my growth and safety and my intuition, trust myself. So yeah, even now as I'm speaking, it still hurts, honestly, to talk about it. And I probably will be processing this loss as well for a long period of time. But the dots really started connecting when I started sitting with it more, and when I really noticed the parallels of this friendship group and how they made me feel, and how, my ex used to make me feel, and why I left that relationship. So painful for sure, but much needed. And I do feel like I'm in a much better place now to continue on my journey of trusting myself and my growth, and really trusting and believing that I do deserve to have boundaries in my life and voice them without the fear of repercussion. We're not doing that anymore. This is an interesting one that you might be surprised about. My third lesson: love takes courage and strength. It's not supposed to be easy, but it's beautiful and healing when you're ready for it. Oh my goodness, y'all, I could go on about this topic for multiple videos. It could be a series, but it's been a summer of really low lows, but also really high highs. And without getting into too much detail about it, as I have kind of been in this journey of trusting myself and trusting my growth and understanding, I've really opened up my heart to new connections again, in like the romantic and love sense. And there was definitely a part of me 9 months ago where I felt like I don't ever want to be in a relationship again. I don't ever want to be vulnerable and trust anyone again. But then I think over time, I almost wanted to give myself permission to be able to actually have the type of love and relationship that I deserved all along, to feel safe in a relationship, to feel heard in a relationship. And I think when I realized that, there wasn't anyone in the picture at the time. It was just like, okay, I've done a lot of work on myself, and which is going to be ongoing, obviously, but I felt like I could trust myself and my place in this world, to be in a place where I could be open, to trust someone romantically again. It'd be so sad. I think I would feel bad for my past self of just a year ago if I just shut myself out from love and like edifying healthy relationships forever just because someone ruined it for me in the past, To be able to trust myself, to feel like I don't owe anyone anything, and to just show up as I am. And it's been, let's just say it's been pretty incredible. And let's just say I never thought I could feel the type of freedom and peace I feel in my life. I genuinely could have never imagined to feel such peace within myself. The fourth lesson that I wanted to share in Musings of the Summer, intentionality behind everything. The way I speak to myself, the way I spend my days, the way I interact with others, the way I work. Intentionality has been everything to me in this chapter of my life, where I start really questioning everything. Kind of happens when you come out of a traumatic relationship of 10 years, that's for sure, that's a given. So at times it can be exhausting, but I think I've come to a place where I feel like I welcome the curiosity of, ooh, I just had like a very adverse or negative emotional reaction to this person speaking to me this way. Where did that come from? Why am I thinking this way? Now I am choosing to move with intention in life in basically every realm that I possibly can. Like I said, in the people that I keep around in my circles. How do these people make me feel? How are they speaking to me? How am I speaking to them? When we say goodbye and I get on the train to come home, how do I feel? And even with work, how do I feel at work with this interaction with this coworker? How do I feel at work doing this task? Do I see myself doing this task specifically in the future? Just intentionality behind everything. And it really has helped me to stay focused on the here and now, as we say in the therapy world, rather than focusing so much on the past or in the future, because both can bring about a lot of different feelings, maybe some anxiety, maybe some fear or depression. It's helped me to really cherish every day to the fullest that I possibly can. And it's been really wonderful just moving with intentionality with everything that I do. I want to just be the best version of myself. And that's been really nice and peaceful as well. And last but definitely very not the least, I come first. My safety, my health, my happiness. It's not selfish, it's self-love. I said things were not in an order per se, but I guess there's a reason why I put this one last, because it is so important. I think as I've been navigating through different relationships in my life, whether it's friendships, co-workers, colleagues, or perhaps romantic, there's a running joke amongst my friend groups that I'm the mom, because I tend to be just a caregiver type in every sense. I always have band-aids in my bag, just little things like that. I just love taking care of people because I love them. It's a love language. But I think in a way that was weaponized against me when I was in my abusive relationship in the past, and even in like toxic friendships. I can see that where people know that I'll always caretake, so they almost take it as a reason to treat me less than, or to just be irresponsible and rude, because they know I'll forgive them. They know that I'll take the brunt of whatever the consequences are. They know I won't stay mad at them. Holding grudges, being passive aggressive is not my thing at all. I hate it, actually. I would much rather be blunt. Yeah, so all that to say, I have really been moving with intention with even how I take care of myself, how I speak to myself, how I perceive myself. So yeah, I think those are the 5 main musings, lessons that I've been mulling through, kind of chewing on this summer through lots of experiences. At the end of the day, this self-growth journey, this healing journey is ongoing. And I think that's a beautiful thing. I think it's a good thing. It's helped me a lot to switch my perspective from being like, I should be healed by now. I should understand this lesson by now. I should get this by now, which of course still happens when I'm hurt. But I think I've been training my mind and the way I think about the world and my place in it as it's always a process. There's always a new lesson to learn in whatever form, iteration. Oh, you learned it this way, now you're gonna learn it this way, and really get it into your brain. And if that's the price to pay for this sense of peace that I feel within my soul and my heart, so worth it. It has been so incredibly healing and wonderful and empowering to continue to stay curious about my own self-growth and healing journey, and to remain compassionate towards myself in the process as well, rather than picking myself apart, because I struggle with that quite a lot. But I think I've been doing less of that this summer, and it didn't matter what the consequences were. I experienced great things, I experienced terrible things, but at the end of the day, I'm still here. I still feel good living in my own skin and body. I feel happy with who I am and who I am trying to become. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. Please let me know if any of my lessons or musings from this summer resonated with you in any way. Also, please let me know how your summer's been. Now that school's back in session, I do plan on making some more school-related videos on my channel, maybe a vlog or two. But yeah, things are back in session. School's back in session, the channel's back in session. It's always wonderful to check in with you guys through my Instagram. If you do want to follow me, it's the same handle. But yeah, it's nice to be back on YouTube and to do a little check-in. I hope you all have been taking care of yourselves emotionally, physically, mentally, in all of those very important ways. And I will see you in the very next video. Bye!